Welcome back to the couch. You are rocking with AgentR. We are going to touch on some Gaia gameplay, but first, before we get into that, make sure to check out my latest NFT project, slumbers.xyz. You heard it right. Exceed Shokan your way over to slumbers.xyz and check out the collection. It is a personal one that I've created. There are close to 10,000 in production for these generative art pieces, and they go directly into supporting me and a way to give back into the community right here on this channel. So make sure and check that out, and much love in advance. Now back over to Master Duel. Let's hop right in here. And before we get into anything else, I do want to highlight some of the deck profile itself. Now, what is Gaia really attempting to do here? What Gaia is attempting to do, at least in how I run it, is win and win fast. All right, like Master Duel is crazy. Okay, and that's a statement coming from playing Duel Links for past couple of years, and before that I had taken a break and quit TCG. So it's like relearning everything because I played Boomer Yu-Gi-Oh. All right, now what we've got here for the core, we've got 3 Gaia the Magical Knight, because I mean, it's amazing, right? If you control no monsters or the opponent controls 2300 or more attack for its monster, you can normal summon it, and then you can special summon level 5 or higher dragon. I believe it's a level 5 or higher. A level 5 dragon, period, excuse me, from the graveyard or your hand, and then you put it on the field, and from there you can use Curse of Dragonfire, which is a polymerization in and of itself, or the real meat and potatoes here, Curse of Dragon, the Cursed Dragon, mouthful. But here, this one can search out essentially another Gaia card. And in most cases, what we're going to search for is this amazing fusion spell, Spiral Fusion. Okay, so we can pull out a fusion summoned monster. It's a dragon type from the extra deck using the hand or field, and typically what you're going to go into is either one of 3 monsters: Sky Galloping Gaia the Magical Knight, which can pop. This monster here can search out the Spiral Spill Strike for piercing damage and draw potential. This one can search out the Spiral Spear Strike, which grants you piercing damage and a draw 2 situation and discard 1. And then the unique creature here is the Curse of Dragon, the Magical Knight Dragon, which when it comes out, it can grab, how we're going to use it, the Spiral Fusion back from the graveyard and allow us to fusion summon using the grave. So it's like a Dragon's Mirror, if you're familiar with that card. So now getting back to the combo for the Curse of Dragon. Now, what this card also does is when you just use it straight up for one of your main monsters, what it can do is you then select your Gaia card, your fusion monster, and then every other monster that has lower attack, it gets its effect negated. Why is that important? Because with Spiral Fusion, your monster goes up to 5200 attack, and if it hits a monster, then it can attack again. So it has 2 attacks essentially on monsters during each battle phase. It's wild. I love that in play. It's just insane. So how are we making this consistent? Well, there are a lot of searchers in this deck. For one, we're going to play Foolish Burial, so that way if we have Gaia the Magical Knight in hand but we need one of our dragons, we play 4 of the dragons so we can put one in the grave for ourselves. We got Terraforming. Why is that? Because then we can search Gateway to Chaos if we need our Gaia, or we can use Galloping Gaia that will search for either a Gaia card or one of the dragons. We also have Artillery Catapult Turtle. So you normal summon this to the field, you contribute it, you special summon Gaia the Fierce Night monster or one level 5 dragon, and then you play the card, and then that can also proc a lot of the plays that we need. Okay. We'd also have the instant fusion play. That's going to give us some extension. Also, if we're bricked up, then we also have super polymerization, so we can go into our monsters that way, but also as a defensive strategy for Mud Dragon of the Swamp or Starving Venom Fusion Dragon, which is also an amazing card. You use 2 dark monsters, but that's essentially what we're getting it out for. But it also has the effect you can make this card gain attack equal to 1 opponent's special summon monster until the end of the turn. You can also target 1 level 5 or higher monster your opponent controls, and it has the name and it gets the effect that if the fusion card is destroyed, you can destroy all your opponent's special summon monsters. So it's really has a great amount of utility, in the deck. And of course, we have Gaia the Fierce Knight Origin, and this is a way to not only mess with the attack stat of the opponent, but really to get a card in the graveyard for our Blackluster Soldier play. That way, if we need an out, we can banish, or it just helps to run through the field all the more, because if we're under the effect of Galloping Gaia, and then we have our Gaia the Magical Knight or Sky Galloping on the field, then the opponent can't activate anything during the battle phase. Not that that happens a lot in Master Duel, but it's there. Now, as far as cards that are going to help us make plays, because like I said, Master Duel is crazy. Like, your opponent is doing, like, I don't know, 5-8 minute plays, whatever, and they're doing special summons, and when special summoning is not special, then it all might as well just be normal summoning. But for defense, we have 3 Ash Blossom, and we're learning still when to use this card, but essentially we're going to make sure that we have a field that Gaia can take advantage of and just beat over. Oh, and by the way, while I'm mentioning Gaia the Magical Knight has the effect that when it destroys a monster, then it also can double its attack even higher. So, I mean, then we're at what, like 7,800 or something crazy like that after a while, 7,200. So it gets pretty insane. We also have 1 Nibiru in here. My playstyle isn't to like just nerf my opponent. I kind of don't like lowering the ceiling all the time. I'd rather just raise mine and play through it. But Nibiru is definitely in the deck to do just that. Dragon Shrine. Dragon Shrine is essentially another Foolish Burial. We just use it for the dragons instead. We have Lightning Storm. That blows up a lot of the back row. That has helped tremendously when going against Eldritch, but it also can get rid of monsters on the field. But we typically are okay with the monsters being on the board because we want to swing through with our Gaia. And so for that, we come over and we play 3 Forbidden Droplets. So we're going to negate monster effects. We're going to lower their attack by half. And that way, that allows us to swing with Gaia all the more. Then we've got 2 Called by the Grave. So we're going to try to, remove any effect that essentially is happening in the graveyard. We can just get rid of that monster and then take care of that effect and essentially negate it, right? Depending on what that card is. It does negate, but sometimes we just want to get rid of a card and really negate a combo. And last but not least, we do have 1 Infinite Impermanence. Now, I'm usually just using this from the hand. We had like a Gaia, like a Gaia Reborn card in here. It never really comes up to use, so then I just add it to more defense. And so that's what I love the most about Gaia. You can put in so much tech and still get so much usage out of the deck. I love how it runs. And then 1 Soldier Gaia for a defensive play. For some reason, if we need to get in and out, we can swap out a Gaia fusion on the field or the Curse of Dragon and then put the Soldier Gaia on the field. Now for the extra deck, I didn't go into much of it. I need to take Trishula back out. This doesn't work. I left it in here so you can see that I'm experimenting. I really don't need to out the board like that by using this card. I just haven't found another one necessarily to add in here yet. Now I do have Master of Blade. This one can detach a material, negated activation, and then we can destroy the card. So if a card or effect is activated that targets this one, we can stay on the board. We do have Silent Honor Arc. I actually really love this card. It's only come up once, but essentially we can suck up an opponent's monster. And that's just if we have an awkward board of artilleries and Gaia, we can get rid of it. One Divine Arsenal because we do have Xyz in here, so why not? The Ferocious Flame Swordsman. This is really just for if we really have to use it. We're just trying to bring back Gaia the Magical Knight from the grave, and then we can go into another fusion summon. And then, of course, last but not least, the Predaplant Verte Anaconda. This is the card that I'm going to use really to try to go into super polymerization. It itself, it can choose another monster and become dark, and then you can send one fusion or polymerization, normal or quick play, and then it turns itself into that card and gets the effect. So that's it for the deck. It's a lot run down. Let's get into it, and I'll show you some of the gameplay that I've had with this deck. All right, let's get right into it now. As you can see, this hand, see how this is an older replay. It has the Spiral Reborn. It's not going to have any effect whatsoever, but this hand is all spell and trap. It looks like a brick, but you're about to see what Gaia can do. So Magical Meltdown, our opponent is playing with Alistair the Invoker. Will he do it? Yes, the normal summon. All right, what a vibe. All right. They're gonna link off. So this is very early on for me. I'm learning what's going on. This Artemis, the Megistus, and if we read that effect, let's see. If another Megistus monster is normal or special summon while you control this monster, except during a damage step, you can target one of those monsters, equip this card you control to it, and then while it's equipped, you can add one Megistus monster from your deck to your hand. And you can only use one effect each. You can only special summon Artemis, Megistus, I think that's how you pronounce Moon of the Maiden once per turn. So moving forward, now that we know that. And that's looking like a Dogmatica card. All right. Fleur-de-Lis is coming out. All right, so now we're going to do a fusion summon by that purple and an Invoked Macabre, which essentially is a negating monster. Okay. Brings back the Alistair. And this is all their turn one. But we're not impressed. Now watch this. There we go. Boom. What a top deck. So let's activate Forbidden Droplet. All right. So I got rid of 2 cards. And if you're not familiar with what Forbidden Droplet does, send any number of other cards from your hand and or field to the graveyard. Choose that many effect monsters your opponent controls, and until the end of this turn, their attack is cut in half again. Also, their effects are negated. Now, in response to this card's activation, your opponent cannot activate cards or the effects of cards with the same original type as sent to the graveyard. We sent a trap and a spell, and that's it. So we don't know what happened there, but you know, we're gonna move forward. We activate the Galloping Gaia. We're gonna search out our dragon, of course, because we want to fuse. All right, let's bring it out. Spiral, and it also always summons that dragon in defense, by the way. I forgot to mention that earlier, but here we go. Very early on, we're gonna summon Gaia the Magical Knight of Dragons. Swing on 1, and it wouldn't be lethal, right? But it is, because then we boost up to 7800 and swing through 2 turns. That's all it takes. Gaia the Swift. All right, next. All right, now this hand is looking beautiful. I'm excited about it. All right, so we're facing Prank Kids. It was my first time, you know, squaring up. I had no idea what was going on. Now, typically, especially if you don't have any hand traps, just let it play out. Just see, just by the pictures alone, like the combos that they're trying to make. Now, they give you enough time in this game, and I love that, to where if you're completely unfamiliar, you can just read through everything. You can read through what's on the field. I know, reading in Yu-Gi-Oh, but you can read what's on the field, read what's in the graveyard, and make your plays. Honestly, when I play in Gaia and set up like this, I pretty much don't care. So I see a 0 attack token on the field. Anytime I see 0, like I'm smelling blood, and they go ahead and fuse it off, which was very interesting. So they seem safe for right now, but there's another, excuse me, I'm saying 0 defense. There's another 0 defense monster on the board. All right, and then they end. That's it. All we're worried about is this one back row. So just what I was talking about. If we take a pause here, this dude, there's a bunch of texts. You know, they usually share the same thing. And this says, if this card is sent to the graveyard as a material, you can gain. We don't care about that. This one, if your prank kid monster attacks, we don't care about that. It's our turn. During your opponent's turn, it's a quick effect. You contribute this card, then target 2 prank kids non-fusion monsters with different names in your graveyard and special summon them. So if we go up here, look, there's non-link. So there's, or non-fusion, excuse me. So there's that. Now, we don't care about that. And now this link monster, prank kids, Dodo Doodle. What is the name? Konami. What is this? Why can't I get the whole Doodle Do? Okay, that is the whole name. Okay. All right, so it says if it's link summoned, it'll do something. We don't care because it's no longer their turn, right? So like I said, you read it, you can go through the grave if you want, check these things out, but you go forward without the pause, of course. Now, what are we gonna do? We're just gonna Forbidden Droplet because like I said, I didn't know quite what was going on, but we're gonna stop him from trying to bring everything back to the grave. They activate MST for some reason. My card is a quick play, so it doesn't need to stay on the field. They're gonna bring this back. It's still not a problem. We're gonna normal summon artillery. We're gonna tribute it off for the Gaia. We're gonna then special summon our Curse of Dragon. We're gonna add our Spiral Fusion. We're gonna activate. All right, so we're gonna come from the hand this time and use Gaia Origin. And then we're gonna get Sky Galloping, because I told you there's a monster that has 0 defense. Now, we're also just gonna then go and negate everything. Why not? I don't know if that's a BM or not, but I mean, there we go. So Spiral Spear Strike, and we're gonna swing into this one first. All right. We got lowered because we're not under our galloping, but we're gonna turn that sideways and then give that 5100. So there it is. Like I said, we're gonna attack twice, but then there's a 0 defense monster. We smell blood. There we go. All right. Magician's Soul. So we're messing with a Dark Magician player. Okay. Right out the gate. And an Apprentice Illusion Magician. Say that 3 times fast. All right, here we go. We're going to activate Gateway to Chaos. Oh, and we get Ash Blossomed. That's not cool. But we were able to bait that out because we have Artillery Catapult Turtle. So let's go ahead and go into our play. Now we're saving again. We have 2 Lightning Storm, right? Why didn't we use that? Well, because quite honestly, we want to swing in. They could have an Apprentice in the hand, but we're going to go for our Curse of Dragon play this time. And now we're going to go ahead and bring the Spiral Fusion back. We're going to activate it again, but now we're going to banish from the graveyard. And we're going to get up close and personal. I dare you. Let's bring out Spiral Spear Strike. Now we're going to, in case they have an Apprentice in hand, we're going to go ahead and move it into defense for ourselves. Okay. Draw 2, get rid of the extra one. We're going to do it again. We're going to go ahead and swing, nothing. We're going to draw 2 more, ditch that one, and then we're going to go in for lethal. So that's why we didn't use our Lightning Storm. Right, we were willing to take the hit and then say, okay, my bad, we go down to 0, at least it's out of the way. But after that, we'd still have some plays and be back to normal. So that's why we skip Lightning Storm. Like, is there any way to make the opponent's name not public information? I know they have that in Duel Links. Like, when I learned my lesson facing off against someone and they made a misplay and people just went ham on the person. And so now I just remove the opponent's name from the replay. So if there's a way to do that, let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, I just have to manually keep doing that. Konami, that's a quality of life thing that I would love to have back. So make it happen. All right, Curse of Dragon. So we're gonna do the same thing that you just saw earlier. Now we're going to resummon. Okay, banish. Now I could do something different turn one, but I am gonna come out here and just stack it. I mean, I could get Lightning Stormed and lose it, but I'm willing to leave it in attack mode to pop a card on my opponent's turn. And look, they have Raigeki anyway, so same thing. Toon player. This is what I'm loving about Master Duel right now. Like, the variety of decks that I've been playing, just coming across. All right, so they're adding, gonna do play 1 for 1, and then they're gonna get a Blackstone. All right, send that away, and then a Red Eyes Toon Dragon. And then they also have this Toon Harpy out here and the Toon Black Luster. That one's gonna swing through. And I mean, that's it. So, I mean, we're good. Okay, so here's what's about to happen. Let's activate this Lightning Storm. Blow it all up. I'm gonna pay you back, and then we're gonna sit. That's it. This is one of those duels that doesn't go like as I would love it to go. I'm gonna activate Called by the Grave. All right, negate that. You're not adding anything. You're not special summoning anything. Just get out of here. Perfect. What? That's the perfect snipe scenario. Now we can get busy. Galloping Gaia. Let's get searching. Now, on this play, if I remember correctly, we don't have lethal because we pretty much leave the opponent with 800 left. So I might add in like Dragon's Gunfire, I think is the name. It's like a really old card. Something like that. Poison of the Old Man. Essentially, if I want to be like ultra aggressive, I need to play this card to be able to get rid of what the opponent has going on. Just take them out in like one shot. All right, we're gonna swing and swing. And so look, I hate having to pass turn, but that's what we have to do here. So that's what I'm talking about with like Poison the Old Man or like something like that, just to like finish them off. All right, so Feather Duster. We're gonna activate I Call by the Grave again so that it's not wasted, and get rid of another stone. And then they're out of here. All right, let's keep it pushing. Now, as you can see, what you also could do with Gaia, because so far we don't really use a lot of the extra deck. See what I'm saying? So you could run your pot and then banish from the extra deck to draw 2 cards. You could do that as well. I think I started out doing that, especially when I was doing testing on Edo Pro and stuff like that. But in Master Duel, I just decided not to use it. Ghost Trick Scare, flip that up, flip mine down. The Ghost Trick Doll, I'm like, whatever. We're gonna go into our Spiral Fusion because we still had it in our hand. So that's why I said I love that card. It's just an extension play. It was able to bait out the opponent because no one likes the opponent searching in Master Duel, and I am one of those people. So all right, we got Sky Galloping because, you know, we're gonna grab our piercing, activate. All right, just half off the top, draw in, get rid of that. Okay, so we got him down, and then at the end of that, the Ghost Trick Doll is gonna flip everything face down. So let's see what the opponent can do here. All right, flip up. We're going to activate Called by the Grave. Called by the Grave is such an amazing card. Okay, let's get rid of that. So that's what I meant. Like, you essentially are negating what's on the field as well. All right, let's see what we got. Ghost Trick. What's this? So Cute Bus? Is that? It's going to activate its effect. And they're going to... Let's try to figure out the name. Okay, So as you can see, I'm still using Spiral Reborn. I don't think any of these replays have where I switched it out, but it's gonna get like 0 use. So we're gonna go turn 1. Now, if you really wanted to keep something within the strategy that you have, and say you want to turn 1 but don't want to do anything, you could also put in the Arcana monster. When you're attacked, you can discard it to the graveyard, and then you can make the battle damage 0 from that attack. That's another option to tech in as well. It's good just so that you don't leave any monsters face up on the board. Honestly, I should be summoning these in defense, because in this game, you know, you do have Raigeki. I mean, not that Raigeki matters, but you have Raigeki, you have Dark Hole. More importantly, you have the Lightning Storm. So you can dance around Lightning Storm if you just put your monster in defense. But we're gonna go up to 52 again, and we're gonna swing. All right, they're gonna put Zombie World on the board, and so I'm gonna react to this a little too slow. So they're gonna activate this Zombie Necronize and then choose Gaia, and I'm gonna pop after the fact. So that was a no-no. I was thinking that if the field spell wasn't up, it would have worked, but you know, it doesn't. He takes my monster, gets rid of it, brings out Ryukaki, and I'm gonna activate Super Poly because both are dark. And there's the defensive play I was talking about. Bring out the Mud Dragon, and what do they do? Insta scoop. So, okay, so we're back in here. Don't remember what we're facing here. Oh, okay. I think this is gonna be, yeah, there's the tokens. So as Gaia, I don't fear the synchro deck that is coming into play. I think it goes into Quasar. Look at all that summoning. That is amazing. All right. Shout outs to this effect. I love how quick the animations are in here. But they're going to go into the starter's charge. They're going to draw a card. Then they're going to go ahead and activate the Jet Synchron. It has that other effect of adding another, I think it's like a junk card. Then they're going to synchro again. And bring out Stardust. Like, this is crazy. I've only seen this one other time before facing this opponent. Like, it's insane. Stardust Spark Dragon. Now Doppel Warrior is going to put tokens on the board. It's at 400. And again, for me, tokens are like, it's everything. That's it. So instead of, again, there's a Lightning Storm, but Stardust will just negate that. So it's useless here. We have Galloping Gaia. So we're going to make our plays. Nothing on the board stops this. Now, typically as well, we're also not afraid of Nibiru, because that's 1, 2, right? So there's 2 summons right there. And this is our 3rd summon. Usually we could go even further into the 4th summon, which we're going to do because we're going to banish and bring out Black Luster. So we're still under the 5 limit. I'm going to swing and boost up and then swing over that. So even with that, like the way we do our summons, we can have a powerful board and never. So if you've been rocking with me thus far, make sure to drop a like, also subscribe. Now, Duel Links and Master Duel aren't the only thing that we play. So if you love variety of content, also make sure to stick around and support your boy. It's greatly appreciated for helping out the algorithm here on YouTube and for continuing to make content. So they're gonna bring out Striker Dragon. Now this is deck, I have no idea what was happening. You know, it looks familiar. I just started watching Vrains not too long ago. I'm like on episode 27 or something like that. So forgive this boomer. So they're gonna do a Link 4 summon into Borreload Dragon. All right, we read it. We're not afraid of it. So we have a Terraforming and we have a Galloping Gaia. So we're gonna activate to get the Gateway to Chaos. All right, we're gonna grab our Soldier Gaia, and then we're just gonna go into our plays like usual. Like the deck, I love playing Gaia, but it was such a great deck to get me involved with Master Duel, because I knew there was going to be a lot to learn, and I don't want to be learning my own deck. You know what I mean? I want to be learning what the opponent is doing, and learning timings. And Gaia is a really great deck to do that with. So I'm hoping that, you know, a lot of these plays will just show you what the deck is capable of. Of course, like anything, it can brick or it can stall, or your opponent can, you know, counter what you're doing. But man, if they don't, this is always a one-turn kill deck for the most part. I mean, like we're talking like 90 to 96% of the time, it's gonna make it happen. Especially when you have the Soldier Gaia, you bring it out and then you swing through, and then you activate Sleep of Polymerization, 0, and then you bring out a Sky Galloping, and then you swing through because we're still under the effect. So I mean, what more can I say, man? Gaia, I'm feeling it. All right, that's all I have. This has been AgentR. Again, make sure to show your boys some love. Leave some likes. If we could get 700 likes on this video, you know what I'm saying? Like, that would set me up to just, it would set me up to make more epic content. The algorithm will hit it up. Make sure to comment below. Do you use Gaia? Have you run across it? Now that you've seen someone use it, are you willing to play it? All of that. 700 likes. Like, share, subscribe. Also, check out the links in the description. We're going to have it for the Slumbers NFTs. There's a Discord link below where you can come and share the knowledge and kick it with us when we're not streaming and don't have any content. But until next time, prove your meta. I'm out.